year at E3, a gaming icon got a drastic makeover would be an understatement.
She seems to be getting younger and younger.
She is aging backwards, as most ladies would like to do, and dudes. The reboot of Tomb Raider put a new spin on the archaeologist that's almost as pretty as Indiana Jones.
Almost. This Lara Croft is young, inexperienced, and in way over her head. Let's go hands-on for a closer look.
All right, guys, here to walk us through this new take on Tomb Raider is Karl Stewart, Global Brand Director at Crystal Dynamics. Everybody welcome Karl to the show. All right, Karl, the first question, we need some clarification here.
Okay.
Is this a reboot? Is it a prequel? Do those words even mean different things?
Alternate universe?
What is this in the game world?
This is a full reboot. This is going back to day one to tell an origin story about how Lara Croft becomes Lara Croft.
And how does Lara Croft become Lara Croft?
Well, she's 21 years of age, as we presented last year. She's 21, she's straight out of college, her first ever adventure, so we don't know anything about her. This is really the first time that we've encountered this young girl, so really what we're trying to do is take players along this journey. You know, we gave you a snippet yesterday at the Microsoft press briefing of where we're taking the game in the next sort of few months when we start presenting more. But right now it's about the emotion. It's about bringing you closer to Lara Croft so that you can really feel how the evolution of the character is going.
And what are we looking at right here? I mean,
so right
she's
now,
drinking water right now, but...
Yeah, apart from drinking water. So right here, she's last year's demo, the first part of it we broke free, we showed from the den, we showed her on this cliff looking out at this mystery, all these different ships and vessels from around different periods of time. And this is about 2 or 3 minutes on. Now she's realized she needs to get some warmth, she needs to get something to drink, she needs to get some food. So we're sort of taking the player on this, as we keep saying, a journey. Really we want the player to feel like they've understood how she ended up in this situation and how she's grown stronger. If you think of Batman Begins, the first third of that movie was about breaking down Batman and reimagining him and showing him that when he got his mask for the first time, you went, that's a Batman I can relate to. So really, that's what we're trying to achieve with this, is to bring her through the ringer and then show her how she gets stronger.
Yeah, and you're definitely, I mean, like, whatever your college girlfriends did to you, I'm so sorry, because Lara here is learning things the hard way. Obviously, we can see here in this game, you know, the fire element being one of them. There's that enhanced level of survivability, I guess you would say, in this game. But people are really familiar with this franchise. There's a certain amount of acrobatics that Lara possesses, obviously gunplay. What are we going to see as far as change is concerned in that level?
So some of the biggest changes you'll see is that really we've taken the pillars of Tomb Raider, which used to be puzzles and exploration and combat, and we've reimagined them for today's audience. So they still have the inherent pillars, because that was the formula of Tomb Raider for so long. Sure. But now it's about smart, resourceful Lara. So instead of pulling levers and reading your journal and moving blocks, now you get to analyze the situation around you. You know how fire works, you know how water works. You start to think, I can solve this like human. I don't have to think about sort of mysteries all the time. So really we've taken the pillars of Tomb Raider and we've built upon them to make it a little bit more immersive than we've ever had in the Tomb Raider in the past.
So can we use this as a survival tool? So are we going to actually learn something from this game?
No, I think
this is an educational game.
Is this an educational game?
Yeah, no. I think
we need more of those. People always ask us about them, and we're like, there's the typing game I played.
Yeah, no, I think there's a big differentiation between sort of survival in the sense of picking berries and drinking your own pee, and survival in that she's been forced to come into a situation where she's had to think about it. She's had to do things which are totally uncomfortable. You know, in the code that we show behind closed doors, we show her having to kill somebody for the first time. Right. That's a very emotional thing. You know, none of us want to go through it, of course, but we try and portray it in a way where, you know, it's not about getting out and just sort of picking things up and thinking, I need all these water, pack in my backpack, or I need these food. So it's all about sort of the personal survival, the personal journey.
And are we going to see the moment where she discovers that she can dual-wield pistols and have unlimited ammo? When she discovers that particular survival skill?
So one of the things we'll say is that Tomb Raider has a lot of iconism. So it's been around for a long time, and it's had things which players latch onto and remember. We want to make sure that, much like Batman getting his mask, when these things happen in this game, you'll remember them. Like the first kill, you'll remember the moment that you came across something, and it will stick with you for the rest of your days playing Tomb Raider.
And what is Lara working on right here?
So in this area, we've brought her in. We sort of teach you about hunting. So she gets her bow, which is kind of the first piece of, we say, sort of a life-saving equipment or gear. You'll see that improve as the game goes through. But in these spaces, you remember in Tomb Raiders before where it was all linear. It was like these binary movements of jumping from ledge to ledge, and really down these long caverns. Now we've opened up these larger spaces. We're not an open world game, but we try to give the player the opportunity to come into these places and do a bit of platforming, move around, sort of see sort of the dynamics of her physique, her movement. Here in particular, she's sort of been hungry, so she has to go and eat. So she's got to go and kill this poor deer You know, and she's a bit remorseful about it when she does it, which is nice. We get to see a little bit of a side of Lara that we've never seen before.
Now, this is the comic nerd in me asking this question, but were you influenced at all by Andy Diggle, I believe, wrote the Green Arrow reboot? Because he also was stranded on an island. He was like, oh, you know, I think I could build a bow. Oh, I'm pretty good at bows. Now I'm killing everything.
You know what?
Did that happen at all?
No, we take a lot of inspiration from a lot of things. You know, bows are sexy right now. Right?
They
Bows
are.
They're the
You're
things
very right.
that people are latching onto. But certainly we've looked at everything from movies to games to video to TV shows. Really what we're trying to bring is something very unique and dynamic inside the game. Something that the players will feel closer to. You know, we've got dynamic camera, which brings you closer into the scene, pulls you back out when you see verticality. So it's about giving the player an experience, which we believe we certainly haven't delivered before, and we're excited to bring this new Tomb Raider.
So now we're going to see, obviously, pistols at some point. Not to give anything too much away. We're going to see bow and arrow. Are we going to be armed in any other ways?
I don't want to give too much away.
Okay.
The goal is, as we get through the year, you'll get beyond this sort of journey phase where she has to kill for the first time, and then we'll see the rationale and the reasoning why we equip her in the way we do. There's a lot of gear gating, there's a lot of sort of rationale between saving her friends and why she's doing things. So you'll see as we go through before March 5th how we get to that point in time.
All right,
That's a
no
yes, by the way.
spoilers.
That's a yes, by the way.
Totally
we are
a
going to see other weapons.
All right, when can we expect to see Tomb Raider hitting store shelves?
So March 5th, 2013 is the date that we've stuck our stick in the ground and we're heading
I
towards.
like it. All right, thank you
Very
so much for
awesome.
coming
No
by.
problem.
We appreciate
Thank you
it.
very much.
Round of applause for this gentleman right here. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.